It's been a while, hasn't it? But we are back, and we are ready for the finale. This is the Brazilian Grand Prix, and it's the title decider, live here on WRL YouTube, and it's a fatal no, it's not a fatal freeway, it's a triple threat for the WRL Championship. 3 men are in the race for it. Max Shepherd, the reigning champion, Philip KRAUS, mostly the outsider for most of the season, and Jan WOZNICA, the main man himself. But unfortunately, Jan WOZNICA is not here. But as is practice, anything could happen between now and by the time qualifying begins. And also, just a reminder that Jeffrey Bakker is not here at this moment in time, but he will be coming back any time soon. So just a rundown of the championship order at this moment in time. There's only 1 point separated between Philip KRAUS and Max Shepherd in the top 2, but only 6 points behind is Jan WOZNICA. So the title is going to be decided here today, but who comes out on top is anyone's guess. Right now in practice, Philip KRAUS is pretty much obliterating the opposition just by beating 4/10 of a second ahead of Max Shepherd. So let's just get into this business as it goes along. There we go, that's better. So don't forget to check us out on Twitter and on Facebook, and don't forget to use the hashtag FW18Brazil, and also hashtag the finale, because this is the final race of the season. And since we were last here, well, we didn't have any. Since we were last here, the attendances are properly dropped, and that was kind of the main reason that we didn't broadcast, is because of lowering attendance in races, which didn't really seem that much, which didn't seem, well, basically that's what we were told not to really broadcast it, because no one really wants to see people just racing around in just less than 10 people. But there are less than 10 people here today, but though we are very keen to do the final race of the season and qualifying included, so we might as well just get straight into it. Now we're going into qualifying now, as you can see. 8 men currently out there, on there at the moment. That's Martinez Jugovicis for the new Bulgarian engineering racing team, Jasper Smelt for Nova Racing, Richard Taylor for KRT, Korean racing team. Yeah, Alfie Lawson, welcome back, Alfie, for the NRWO in possibly the last outing we'll see from him. He's filling in today following NRWO's absence for the rest of the season. James Babcock initially replaced him, but Babcock since then has gone AWOL and, well, hasn't really commentated on that since. So Alfie Lawrenson is stepping into the picture for possibly the last time, so good luck to Alfie there. Other people include Ruben van den Hutting, who has had somewhat of a okay season for the Drillers outfit. Of course, his favourite team, Nova Racing, of course, back on the grid. So we're looking forward to see what happens with Van den Hutting today, as well as Matthew Clip. Now, there's speculation on his future. Where will Matthew Clip go? He's due to be a free agent in 2019. But the question is, who will he be snapped up on? We'll find out very soon. And of course, the 2 Vulcans, Max Shepherd and Philip KRAUS, is here. The 2 main title contenders, and there's no sign, of course, of Jan WOZNICA, as Jasper Smelt just hits his nose cone. So, we're into qualifying. It's under 8 minutes, I presume. So, it's mainly just going to be who's going to be qualifying in which position for this. There's no going to be Q2, because if there's more than 10 people here, then of course there will be a Q2. But right now, it just doesn't seem that way. And I just realised I forgot to put the sound on. So, hopefully that's all sorted now. And, yeah. I have to find out who are the top 8 is going to qualify. More importantly, where is Jan WOZNICA? He's got a prime opportunity. He's 6 points behind the leader, Max Shepard, going into this race. And he's nowhere to be seen. So, as it stands, unless Jan WOZNICA turns up for at least a race, then I could say his championship chances are pretty much over. There's been speculation that he might compete, he might not compete for the final race of the season. But according to latest updates, he said he was going to race, but we haven't seen any of it since. I mean, he initially declined to race after some, I believe, there's some family issues, or I really have no idea about. But he did say that he was going to race. But the question is, but the main thing is he's nowhere to be seen as Hugo Visas just goes off the road there. So 6 minutes left of the qualifying session, and we're going to try to find out who's going to be the first to put themselves onto the grid at this moment in time. Who is the closest one to the line at the moment? It's I believe it's Richard Taylor. Richard Taylor is the closest one to the line. Richard Taylor for KRT, Korean Racing Team. Richard Taylor goes second. In fact, Philip KRAUS has actually got the one in. And Alfie Lawrenson for the NRWO takes second. Taylor still is back down in third. Martinez Yukovicis in fourth. Oh my god, what's happened to Mac? Mac's having a little bit of lag, as you can see on the stream. Fifth place. Yeah, lag on the stream, more ways than one. Haha. Stream jokes. Shepard 9 seconds down. 9 seconds down for Max Shepard. That is an underwhelming performance from the reigning champion and championship favourite at this moment in time. So Philip KRAUS does have a little bit of an edge here, but we'll have to find out what happens next in the next 5 minutes or so. So we only got about 6 people only qualifying so far. The rest who needs to be qualifying still are Ruben van den Hudding, I don't know if you could hear that sound pretty well. In fact, we'll be back in a sec. We just need to adjust the sound for a bit. Okay, that should be all sorted now. So, yeah, we're only about 2 minutes left. Well, just under 3 minutes, actually, left in the session. Ruben van den Hudding just avoiding Yuko Visas there. Philip KRAUS in first. Shepard has actually improved on his time immensely now and is back up into second with second place. Alfie Lawrenson in third. Still a good result so far for the NRWO. Matthew Clip for Schubert Motorsports in 4th. Ruben Radden heading for Drillers, the only drillers in this qualifying session at the moment, in 6th. Martin Jukovicis for Bulgarian Engineering Racing Team in 7th. And Jasper Spels for Nova Racing in 8th. So, under 2 minutes to go, who will be on pole? That is the main thing at this moment in time. So we're around a minute and a half left. Max Shepherd on his run at the moment, but could he take pole right here, right now? Max Shepherd, he's improved on his personal best, but he's still behind KRAUS, only 0.5 of a second behind. Matthew Clip is actually taking him 3rd. Alfie Lawrence in 4th. So Matthew Clip really trying to push as hard as he can. Remember, he wants a space for next year. And, well, let's just find out what is going to happen next. Only a minute to go. .40 seconds left. Philip KRAUS is still the main man on pole. Shepherd still in 2nd, but right now he's still not trying. He's still trying to improve on his time. 25 seconds to go. Can he actually make it to the line? 20 seconds. Remember that he hasn't started a lap yet, but he needs to do it in the next 15 seconds. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh no, he's not going to make it. He's not made it. He's not made it. Max Shepherd fails to do another lap time. KRAUS is on pole position as it stands. Yeah, that's the stands. It's done. It's done. Unless Richard Taylor can pull a madness. He doesn't pull a madness. But Jasper Spelt, he's still on his lap. But no, that's not going to do it for Jasper Spelt. That's not going to do it for Nova. No, that's not going to do it. So Philip KRAUS is on pole position, and that is your final grid of 2018 in Formula Waga. Yeah, that's going to do it. So this is going to be an incredible development in terms of the race. Who will take the title? Because as it stands, Jan WOZNICA's not here, so he's throwing his championship chance away in favour of one of the Vulcans. So who will take it? Will it be Philip KRAUS or will it be Max Shepherd? Only 1 point separates between the two. We're ready for the finale. That is the Brazilian Grand Prix, and it's live here on the WRL YouTube channel next. Okay, welcome back, and we're ready for the finale. And also, joining me in the booth is Mr. Jeffrey Backer. Hello, Jeffrey. Yeah, it's been a long time indeed. Hold on, let me just trying to sort out your settings a bit. Right, one more time. Jeffrey Backer.
Hi. It's great to be back.
Fantastic. So, 7 people on the grid. Well, sorry, 8 people on the grid. No sign of Jan WOZNICA, so he's pretty much out of the running. And, well, no surprise there, because I've actually been told by someone in... Oh no, what's happened with Alfie Lawrenson? Alfie Lawrenson not moving off the grid for some reason or other. He stalled his engine. He stalled it. Oh no. So anyway, we'll have to. So might have to continue on with Alfie unless we're not going to go for a restart. So at the moment, we might as well come for the grid. The 2 championship contenders are locking out the front row. KRAUS in first and Max Shepherd, the reigning champion, in second. The championship leader at this moment in time. Matthew Clip in third for Schubert Motorsports. Was supposed to be Alfie Lawrence in fourth, but he's stalled on the grid. Fifth is, well, now fourth, is Ruben van den Hudding. Sixth, now fifth, is Richard Taylor. Seventh, now sixth, is Martinez Ukavicius. And eighth, now seventh, is Jasper Spelt. And we are going into a restart. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going for the restart. So, yeah, it's been a long time, Jeff.
Yeah, it's certainly. Like, what was the last time we actually did a complete race?
It was
4 months ago.
It was a few months ago. But we are hoping this will be a good affair. So this is 36 laps. So half it's of the normal 72 or 73, and yeah, let's hope it's a good start this time. So you're having a restart on the basis that Alfie Lawrence has stalled his engine. This is his first race in, like I said, a few months, because yeah, all those stuff happened. So Jan WOZNICA is not here, and there's only 1 point separated between the 2 Vulcans. Max Shepherd leading, but Max Shepherd's on second. So, who would you think is going to take the title here today, Jeff?
If I'm honest, I haven't really been paying too much close attention to the championship, so I'm not really sure who could win. But based on this on recent result, I'm going to go with Mac because he won the most recent race.
Yes, and you have to remember that Philip KRAUS was basically an outsider for the championship for the majority of the season, because it's mainly been dominated by Shepherd and WOZNICA, and not to mention a few surprise packages along the way, including the short-lived debut of Robert Dukic from Australia to Bahrain and that. So this is going to be a huge affair. So let's go for the grid once again. On pole is Philip KRAUS. Second is Max Shepherd. Third is Matthew Clip for Schubert Motorsports. Fourth is Alfie Lawrence for the last time in the NRWO. Fifth is Ruben van den Hudding for Drillers, the only Drillers on the grid at this moment in time. Sixth for KRT is Richard Taylor, the former Cruise Racing driver. Martinez Ukavicius for Bulgarian Racing Team. And in eighth is Jasper Smelt for Nova Racing. So 8 drivers on the grid, 2 more than Indianapolis 2005, but well, we can't really do much about this one, to be honest. So this is about to make do. Not exactly the most strangest, not the most strangest start ever, but you know how it is.
Well,
so
the thing is that Indianapolis 2005 had 2 top contenders. We have at least on paper we have 4 with the 2 Vulcans, Matthew Clip and Ruben van den Hudding, that all could contend for the race win here, in my opinion.
Yeah, don't forget, of course, some outsiders including NRWO's Alfie Lawrenson for the last time. So everyone's on the grid. The lights will come out on, and it will be go. Just wait for the lights to come on, and there it goes. 3, 5, Action in Brazil. A good start so far from Philip KRAUS. Yeah, good start from Philip KRAUS. And Alfie Lawson coming into the side into second. Alfie Lawson with a fantastic start. He's taken over Max Shepard. Disaster for the reigning champion as they go past the centre airs down into Jiankao. And looks like Shepard is going to try to take Alfie Lawson going into Jiankao. And he does it so far. Oh, yes. He just goes through Max Shepard back into second. And Alfie Lawson is under attack from Matthew Clip going into the infield section. What a good start so far. And Alfie Lawson going down into fourth already. And oh no! Oh no! Matthew Clip, what have we done there? No, women! Shepard! It's Shepard! Oh no! It's going disastrously for the world champion. Max Shepard in eighth. What a disaster for Vulcan. Well, for him, actually. But delights for Philip KRAUS. He's got the main advantage at the moment as we go complete the first lap of the 36th lap Brazilian Grand Prix. Philip KRAUS is first. In second is Alfie Lawson. Under attack from Taylor, who's under attack himself from Ruben van den Hedding as they go into the centre S. And Yuko Visas is under attack from Matthew Clip, and Shepard already just got past Jasper Spelt going into the second lap.
This is really bad for Shepard, who has to basically do an enormous comeback to KRAUS, who already has a 7-second gap, because this is still the main point. Shepard still has enough pace, I think, to get to the lead, because he's much faster than people like Jurgelevicic and Taylor. But Clip and Ruben van den Hedding might not make his life easy. I didn't really see what happened there in the incident, but I thought he locked up, but apparently he spun as well.
So we're just going to look at the replay now. So Max Shepard just trying to hold on to second, going into the first part of the infield section, and yeah, he just lost the back end. He lost the back end just going into the first part of the infield section, and Matthew Clip also had to avoid contact. That's why I thought he went wide and thought he spun, but it turns out that it was Max Shepard. What a disaster for the champion. But he's hoping to make up ground. He's past Smelt, he's past Yuko Visas, he's targeting Matthew Clip, and in turn Richard Taylor. Alfie Lawson trying to hold on to second, but right now is really under attack from Ruben van den Hedding, who is insanely quick. But do not underestimate Alfie Lawson, because he pulled the prizes out of the bag before. He could pull it out again.
That will be a huge result for NWRO, because they're currently at the very bottom of the championship, which would be behind even VRT, which would be a great publicity for the team if they manage to get in second place.
Yeah. So Philip KRAUS has now pretty much got an iron fist on his race. He's pretty much in a he's pretty much in his own level, probably his own zone at this moment in time. He's cool, calm, he's collected, and he's about to start lap 3 out of lap 4 out of 36. And yeah, we're just over 3 minutes in, and this is going to be absolutely nail biting. So as it stands, because there's only 1 point between them, if Shepard needs to overtake KRAUS to win at all costs, because you could get points anywhere, but for Shepard to win, he needs to finish ahead of KRAUS, and for KRAUS to win, he needs to finish ahead of Shepard. Right now, it's all going the way of KRAUS. Only 1 point separating them, and yeah, KRAUS is going to be champion at the end of this race as it stands.
Somehow Ruben van den Hedding is in 6th place right now, so he lost time somewhere, and I'm not sure where.
Let's just have a look. And yeah, he actually spun. He actually spun around the same spot that Max Shepard actually spun at. So let's have a look at this. Let's Philip KRAUS just get the fast lap of the race. Yeah, he clips the apex and just lost it. He clips the apex and lost it. So not a good, not good race so far for Ruben van den Hedding, but he can try and make it back. So Van den Hedding's now 6th, Shepard's now 5th, and it's pretty much a mixed race so far.
Clip already on the backhand of Taylor, so that with Mac needs to really, I think, kind of needs to be patient. Let Clip, well, if he can, just overtake Clip, but not try to force anything
And
that big right now.
And Alfie Lawrenson just clipped heavily the apex going into the part of the infield section. He managed to keep it stable, but he has lost a little bit of time, and now he's basically got a train formed up behind him with Richard Taylor, Matthew Clip, and now the reigning champion Max Shepherd at this moment in time. So that we're now lap 6 out of 36, 30 laps to go, and well, this has been, despite the number of people that has turned up, has been possibly a good outing so far.
Kind of traffic jam there with Taylor dive bombing Lawrenson, and Lawrenson Taylor, closing the door.
And Taylor is
three wide.
Three wide. Oh no! Taylor's and Lawrenson's back into second just, but he's let Shepherd through. He's let Shepherd through, and now he's going to catch up onto Lawrenson, and Lawrenson is under a huge amount of pressure from the reigning champion. You take over, about to say Spud. Sorry about that. So yeah, Lawrenson in second at this moment in time, under huge pressure from Max Shepherd at this moment in time, who has been tussling with Taylor, who was initially third, was going up into second, but got to second, but and then Taylor's off. Oh God!
He went very wide. Well, Max Shepherd's going to try DRS overtake on Lawrenson.
Right on the outside.
Side by side. Who there's
no! Lawrence has lost it. Lawrence has lost it. He's fourth now, no fifth. And oh no! He's nearly got clipped by Taylor, who is really not having a good day of his own. He spun just earlier, and now he spun just now. So Lawrenson's back down into fifth, but he's trying to keep it calm. He's now not under huge amounts of pressure, but now he needs to try and capitalise on the fifth as much as he can. So seven laps in, KRAUS still pretty much leading, and Max Shepherd is now back up into second after a disastrous start for him. But right now is not going to be enough for Shepherd. It's going to be enough for KRAUS. Remember, 1 point between them, and right now KRAUS is pretty much champion as it stands at present.
This is basically a race within a race. Well, normally, because you got the standard race of who can reach the finish line first, but you also got the battle between KRAUS and Shepherd for the championship. Although, since it's also kind of basically the same fight. So.
And that was a nice overtake.
It's really a shame that WOZNICA isn't here, so there could be a third party involved, which always makes things exciting. On the other hand, then since that gap is a little bit bigger, it might get complicated with the math and with virtual championship standings and stuff like that. Maybe this way is much easier, but whoever finished first of the two is the champion. Yeah,
so as you just saw there, that was a nice overtake from Martinez Jugovicis on Smelt, just going into the first part of the Center S. But we also should mention that the reason why Jan WOZNICA is not in this race is because he failed to make it home in time in order to get himself into the car, get himself in a race, and hopefully mix things up. But right now, it's between the two Vulcans, and it's all basically down to the wire. 8 laps in, KRAUS still leading. Shepherd looks like he's gaining, but I'm not too sure. But we'll have to see what happens next for the title picture. Meanwhile, Matthew Clip is trying to hold on to Shepherd as much as he can, but he's just losing. He's losing time. He's gaining time. We have no idea. He's around about the same gap at this moment in time. But, and this is a huge but, Clip could pull off a surprise back here, because it's between 15 points, 8 seconds, and 16 point. Yeah. Shepard is definitely getting away. It was around the 16-second mark, but now it's gone to 17. So Shepard is definitely pulling away.
Meanwhile, Richard Taylor and Martinez have a bit of a fight. Those two have closed up with each other again, so that can be interesting.
So Martinez, Visas, and Richard Taylor trying to fight out for 6th place at the moment in time, but it's not likely they're going to catch up to Lawrenson unless Lawrenson makes a huge kerfuffle of himself. Right now, he's trying to keep his calm, trying to keep himself collected and all that. But Richard Taylor is, well, he's not having a good day himself. He spun out just twice, and we saw just now, it was a few laps ago also. And Yukovisa's, well, we'll have to say what happens next. Meanwhile, yes, Melt looks like he's going to be the first one to pit, unless I'm very much mistaken. No, Ruben Van Hunting is going to pit.
And Taylor spun again.
Yeah, that's not good today for Richard Taylor, and he is going to pit as well. So Van den Hunting is in the pits, and Lawrence is up into 4th, and Richard Taylor is going to pit as well as Smelt. So basically, the midfield to bottom half of the table. Oh wait a minute, Smelt says he is going into the pit, but he's not going into the pit. He's staying out. So you have to think, is Smelt trying to pull something off here?
Trying to trick out the commentators.
But also Taylor's not going into the pit either.
You never know who's listening.
Yeah. And also, it's around the time that the Vulcans should pit as well. But who is going to be the first one to come in? Is it going to be KRAUS or is it going to be Shepard? If it's going to be Shepard, then the title is pretty much out of his out of the picture. But if KRAUS pits, then Shepard does have a chance, unless he mucks up or KRAUS mucks up, which is bad for either one. But you get the picture.
The thing that might also get into KRAUS's head is that he's basically riding on a championship ride right now. And that pressure can, and I hope that he doesn't crack under the pressure, because he's basically in a golden position right now, and it would be really bad if he nearly lost it there.
Who nearly lost it?
KRAUS nearly lost it. Lost about a second right there.
Let's just have a look.
Due to a minor mistake, nearly lost the rear, but managed to correct it.
It was just.
That's exactly what I mean. Stuff like that. You don't need to get that into your head. Then you start losing even more time. You start doing it again and again and again, and that will just be a disaster.
Ooh. Yeah, you're right. Nearly lost it then. That could have been good for KRAUS, but he's still pretty much leading at the moment as he laps Hugo Visas and laps Taylor, who has just come into the pits.
Smelt also went into the pits and might have done a little. Oh, and he loses it! He loses
no!
it!
Under the pressure of being lapped, Smelt just goes off track. That's pretty much the story of my life. But enough of me. Let's go back to the race. So Smelt.
No,
Oh no!
Be careful.
What has Smelt done? Always look both ways, and now as he got virtually no damage to the car on either one, that is, and they're still pretty much at loggerheads. If there's any, if they're actually fighting at loggerheads, that is. So lap 14, just around 15 minutes in, KRAUS still leading the race, and at the moment going to win the championship. Shepard second, and about to lose his championship. Clip in third. Lawrenson in 4th, Van den Huding in 5th, Jürgen Wiesers in 6th, Taylor 7th, and Jasper Smelt is in 8th.
Yeah, that smelt incident also held up Shepard a little bit. So that's again not the luck isn't on his side today.
It isn't indeed. And Taylor goes off a little bit once again under pressure from Shepard, but he does manage to get out of the way to some extent.
Meanwhile, Smelt is spun again. I think he really has trouble getting those tires up to temperature because he's on the soft tires right now. And I think that appears to be the wrong choice.
But he has got plenty of time to get used to them.
Shepard is in the pit lane.
Shepard's in the pit lane, and wait, but KRAUS is also in the pit lane as well. They both came in. So KRAUS pretty much still going to win the championship, but Clip leads the race. But is he going to pit anytime soon? My answer would be...
I think so.
Sorry? Oh, a little bit of lag between Philip KRAUS there at the moment. Or no, it's
between the two Vulcans.
So Lawrenson is between both Vulcans at this moment in time. KRAUS still leading the title picture as it stands. Oh, Lawrenson nearly spun about there, but he's still keeping on, keeping it calm. Jasper Smelt just coming out of the pit lane for a second time.
And
Matthew Clip's in. KRAUS is now leading the race once again. Where is Alfie Lawrenson? And Alfie Lawrenson comes in. Shepard is going to get a second 100%. There it goes.
And the gap has opened up again. From around 13 seconds before the pit stop, it's up to 16.5 right now.
And Van den Huding gets 4th pack from Lawrenson, who just exits the pit lane now. So now the battle for the top spot on the podium, as well as the championship, is back on between the two Vulcans at the moment in time. Philip KRAUS versus Max Shepard. Lap 16 out of 36, 20 to go, 18 minutes just over.
And Max lost the rear.
Max lost the rear. What? I'm gonna have a look at the replay of this.
With a little hairspin, but he managed to save it somewhat, limiting his time loss. But
and that no doubt is going to be good news for KRAUS.
I don't know what's
oh yes. Yeah, he just spun it at the same spot that he lost it at the beginning of the race.
That's some uncharacteristic mistakes from him, actually, because I've rarely seen him make mistakes, and now there's already two in the same race at the same spot.
And in the and through the visor of Philip KRAUS, you could possibly see a huge grin on his face, because Philip KRAUS, in less than 20 laps from now, is gonna be WRL champion.
Unless disaster happens, which we do hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, people are just thinking that we do hope it's going to happen. But it's not going to happen. Let's just hope that's not.
Meanwhile, Smelt with the classic Stroll strategy of doing at least 3 stops, and he even retires. So that's down to 7 cars.
So yeah, we should. So earlier we said that Jan WOZNICA is not going to be in the race due to not making it home in time. But he has requested that he wants to join into the booth. So hopefully anytime soon we can have Jan WOZNICA into the booth. But we don't know yet. Looks like we're all concentrating on the race, and it's not going to be possible at this moment in time. So yeah, sorry about that, Jan. We'll talk after the race. We'll talk after the race.
Mac continues to extend his lead. At this point, it really is his to lose.
So yeah, KRAUS is pretty much, even though he looks calm, he's trying to keep it as well as he can. And yeah, we got our first retirement of the race in Jasper Smelt. Let's have a look what happened there. He's coming into the pits, trying to sort something out, and yeah, he's just retired. He's just had enough.
Considering how many times we've seen him spin, that's kind of understandable.
I think, as the same for the race, I think we've seen Shepard spin around equal times than Smelt throughout the race. But I could be very wrong.
What is interesting though is that basically the top two are posting similar lap times, and then Klipven and Hunning and also Lawrenson are also posting similar lap times to each other. So if they manage to get close to each other, which due to them driving similar lap times is unlikely, but that could be a nice fight if they can all catch up together.
Yeah, but with 16 laps to go, time is basically running out, especially for Shepard. So on lap 20 out of 36, and yeah, well, Shepard is pretty much losing his title at this moment in time.
For example, the difference in lap times between KRAUS and Shepard was 8 thousandths last lap. That's how close it is between the two. With a slight advantage to Shepard last lap, but with a gap so little, that's not going to be enough in any way.
Yeah. KRAUS still leading pretty much with an iron fist at the moment, and yeah, that's pretty much going to be it like that for the title. I always at this moment in time, he's got an iron fist on the race, he's got an iron fist on the grip on the title itself. So everything's going in the way of the American so far.
I mean, if you see his win streak between Canada, Europe, Austria, the UK and Hungary, which is 5 wins in a row, he's deserving of the championship.
Yep. And we would have said it earlier, but the addition of Jan WOZNICA could add like an exciting prospect of an outsider chance for the title. But it looks like it's not going to be. It's between two Vulcans, and yeah, it's pretty much. It's going to be one of them, but KRAUS has pretty much got it.
pretty safe to say that the only thing that can stop KRAUS is a failure.
Yeah. Lap 22 out of 36. Still away KRAUS first, Shepherd in second, Clip third, Fadden heading in fourth, Lawrenson in fifth, Taylor sixth, and Hugo Visas in seventh. Only one more time so far in Jasper Spelt, who is going to be eighth.
You think it's too early to reflect on the season so far? So to pass the time a little bit. Well, never mind, because Shepard's in the pits again.
Shepard's in the pits once again, and that is probably it. KRAUS is definitely going to be world champion.
That I'm not so sure if this is definitely the nail, because if Shepard pits, it's good. Might be that KRAUS will. Yeah, this is difficult because you can do two things. You can try to protect against the undercut, or just continue hoping that the more worn, the slower tires will be able to save you the gap he has. Even though it's an enormous gap, about 44 seconds.
Yeah.
Will that be enough though, with a car that's going slower against a much faster car, which we've probably seen the lap times in a few laps that he's gaining by like a second a lap, maybe even more. But will that be enough?
So Clip is now in second, but Shepard is pretty much away from Clip. But so the only one closest to Shepard is Lawrenson in fourth, because Van den Hedding, I believe, was in the pits last time out. Yeah, he was in the pits. So Lawrenson in fourth. But has he pitted for both compounds?
Lawrenson has definitely pitted. I think everyone pitted for both compounds already.
Okay, so
and Mac is in the pits as well.
Max Shepard in the pits again. No, Philip KRAUS in the pits.
KRAUS, my bad.
Yeah, Philip KRAUS in the pits at this moment of time. And yeah, it's not going to be enough for Clip to get past. But yeah, KRAUS comes out of the pits once again, and yeah, it's not going to plan at all for the reigning champion for Shepard at the moment in time, because he's been held up by Hugo Visas, who's actually just gone into the pits. Hugo Visas is actually doing KRAUS a favour there. And the 10 seconds separate the top three. Around 10 seconds separate the top three. 10 per driver. So 10 seconds separate between KRAUS and Clip. 10 seconds or 11 seconds separate between Clip and Shepard. With a further 8 to Lawrenson and a further 7 to Van den Hedding.
Yeah, in hindsight, I think it's a safe call for KRAUS to pit, because he has an extensive gap against Clip anyway, so he gets ahead of him, and he has slightly fresher tires, so that will be able to protect him for anything, any massive pace gains that Shepard might have. Which Shepard did already show. He already set the fastest lap of the race on the previous lap, and I think he'll improve it again. But it just, but now that the KRAUS is also on the same tires, I think it's pretty secure that KRAUS will be able to win the championship.
So only 10 laps to go, around about 10 laps to go, and it's clip separating between KRAUS and Shepard. And as it currently stands, KRAUS is going to be champion. Lawrenson in 4th, Van Hennig in 5th. The 2 lapped cars of Taylor and Jugovic in 6th and 7th. Of course, one time so far in Justice Belt for Nova in 8th.
Although this might be interesting for the fight for 2nd place, which is Matthew Clip, who's still on the soft tires against Mac on the Supers, which does have him, and with him in a pace advantage while Mac spins again.
Oh, good lord! It's not going to plan for Shepard. And the thing is, if Clip's pitted now, it wouldn't matter because Shepard would still be 3rd.
I think the guy wore Clip to make a safe pit stop. He really should. Meaning, basically, has to gamble on staying out to be able to stay in front of him and give Schubert Motorsports their P2. Might be their first of the season. I'm not completely sure.
Yeah, but it also brings in another factor. We're only going on to 8 laps to go, and if Shepard spins again, then Lawrenson is going to be completely up in Shepard's business, because if Lawrenson does finish 3rd ahead of Shepard because of Shepard spinning during the race, this could give the NRWO its first and only podium of the season, which could be an incredible development. Incredible.
And even in the last race of the season, so right on time. But the thing you also have to worry about is that Ruben van den Hoeding is also right behind Lawrenson on also the softer tires.
Yeah, just about to state that he needs to be careful because Ruben van den Hoeding is really pacing it at the moment in time.
I think we see right now that the 2-stop was definitely a step better than the 1-stop, but due to mistakes from especially Shepard, that we can see it the 1-stop being more effective in the Clip versus Shepard. But in general, due to Lawrenson and Van den Hoeding were basically the same amount of incidents and basically pretty clean races, that we see that the 2-stop is actually superior, because despite how good Lawrenson is, who goes wide and basically hands position right now, you can basically see that the pace advantage that Ruben had over Lawrence was so much superior that the 2-stop was effectively the much better choice.
So Shepard still hanging on to 3rd, only by a thread. But it's not going to be enough. Remember, he needs to win. He needs to finish ahead of KRAUS. And right now, it's not going the way of Shepard. It's going the way of KRAUS. Only 6 laps to go. And yeah, it's pretty much set in stone. It's pretty much set in stone now. It's rock solid evidence that KRAUS is going to be a champion.
Sadly, not quite the finale everyone had hoped to see and hoped to witness and hoped to even participate in, likely. But well, beggars can't be choosers. I think that's how the saying works. But
yep.
If you get it, well, it doesn't really matter how you get it, but you get it. So
it basically means you wanted it so bad, but can't really put the effort in. That's basically what you're trying to say. Is that correct me if I'm wrong?
Okay, so I used it completely wrong.
Is that that is right? That is right saying to what you said, wasn't it?
Okay.
All right. So, okay, that's good.
It's not my native language, and in my language we have something that sounds completely ridiculous in English.
Right.
So I'd rather not to try to translate it here.
Yeah, yeah, it's best if you try not to. So 5 laps to go. KRAUS still leading. Clip in second. There's a good, that's a good performance so far from Schubert Motorsports. Third is Shepherd, is pretty much losing his title. Fourth is Van den Hudding, a hopefully good result for Drillers after losing both titles so far. Yeah, they've lost both titles. And Lawrenson in fifth, good result so far for the NRWO. With Taylor Yukovicis down a lap towards 2 and Smelt out of the race.
The story of Drillers this season can be seen as a lot of potential, but nothing really amounting to anything.
Yeah.
With Ruben especially being really unfortunate in a really big couple of races, and Jan having basically missing the last few races, which basically took him out of contention, because before he went away, he basically had the championship locked up, and because he knew that he was going to be away for the last few races, he really could really see it in him that he really tried to maximize his points in the beginning of the season. That's why his that technical fault that happened to him at Austria, where he basically the game decided that it's probably more fun to be in the air instead of on the ground. Quite spectacular airborne hang time, but it did put him out of the race, which in hindsight you can see as well that he basically lost the championship there. Really unfortunate for him.
Yeah, so unfortunate.
I mean, after top 3, that result in Austria is the only time one of the top 3 finished outside the top 10.
So only around 3 laps to go, and yeah, you pretty much know the score right now. And it's going one. Yeah, it's going definitely going one way. But yeah, it's definitely going one way because Clip is actually losing time. He's actually letting Shepherd gain on him.
I think that's the only thing that can potentially make this race exciting again, outside of the 2 lap cars being well, basically standing or are more off the track than on it. Whenever I look at them, anyway.
Yeah.
But the battle between Shepherd and Clip could amount to something really interesting, especially since we're getting to the closing stages of the race.
So this is basically it. We are now only a few laps away from the end in terms of Philip KRAUS. In his head, he must be feeling, I never really expected this from the beginning of the season, but now to be finally getting it is absolutely fantastic for KRAUS. Because he's been an outsider for the majority of the championship until the last few races of the season when he finally get himself in it, and now he's only 1 point separating between him and Shepherd. Oh, KRAUS nearly had on there, but still he's all right there. But the KRAUS only 1 point separating him from Shepherd, and KRAUS leading the way. That's going to be a sensational feeling for him so far. That's going to be a sensational feeling.
Meanwhile, Shepherd has a huge run on Clip. Can he go defense? He can't even go defensively. The DRS and the pace advantage is so huge.
And Shepherd
Clip
now
doesn't have a chance.
Yeah, Shepherd now into second place. Clip is still going to get the podium regardless of what just happened there. But though Shepherd back into second. Just in time to congratulate his teammate on the current championship. snatching the crown from his teammates. I don't know if that's a bit sweet or not, but still. Philip KRAUS is coming across the line to start what would be his final lap. His final lap of the race, his final lap of the season, and on the way to his how many championships has KRAUS? No, he hasn't won any championships so far, so this will be his first championship in WRL for Philip KRAUS. He's been an outsider for most of it, but he's really surprised everyone throughout the last couple of races of the season. And unless something extraordinary happens now, KRAUS definitely deserves it. Going through the last few corners there. Keeping it smooth, keeping it calm. He can just basically cruise home now. Going up into the last few corners, this is where Hamilton passed Timo Glock to win the 2008 World Championship. But today is the day of the Americans. Philip KRAUS, the title stays with Vulcan. Philip KRAUS wins the race, and he is the 2018 WRL World Champion. Well done. Fantastic. Absolutely brilliant.
Truly deserved. Most race wins of the season, so the undisputed best driver of the grid right now.
And here comes his teammates to give away the title to his teammates. The reigning champion of 2017 is going to cross the line to greet the champion of 2018 as Max Shepard finishes second and loses out on the title. Matthew Clip gets third. A fantastic result for Schubert's Motorsports, their first podium this season. Van den Hudding in fourth. Alfie Lawrence is going to come home in fifth position to finish off when that's been a mess season for the NRWO outfit, but extra points meaning they're no longer bottom of the table. Alfie Lawrence comes home in fifth. In sixth come home is, well, Richard said he's still racing. He's just stopped Van den Hudding. What are you doing, Richard? Jürgen Vistis is going to come across the line in seventh now. And of course, Jasper Spelt is going to be eighth. As we see, Philip KRAUS just doing donuts just around the last corner there. And there is his teammate going to come around to congratulate him by bumping butts, or I should say bumping rear wings with each other. And oh, Taylor, why would you do that? Why would you do that, Taylor?
I mean, that was a nice nice donut there.
It's a donut festival. Everyone's pretty much doing donuts. It's a donut festival.
It's the end of the season, so everything. I mean, these cars won't be used again, so everything can be blown up.
Yeah. It's pretty much just moving on, just make scrap metal and all that. No, it's not like I've got something for scrap metal and all that. But anyway, we're back after the break where we'll hopefully get an interview with Jan WOZNICA, Max Shepard, and your new WRL World Champion, Philip KRAUS. We'll be back in a few minutes. welcome to the post-race interview with the of the 2018 WRL Brazilian Grand Prix with Ruben van den Heuning, Max Shepard, and the new WRL World Champion Philip KRAUS. So first off, we'll start off with Ruben van den Heuning. So just tell me, how was your race?
The fast right-hander, and that basically screwed my race to the end because I flat spotted my tires and couldn't do shit against the Falcon anymore.
Yeah, I do apologise for the language, but it is end of season, so you know what? Everything's off limits. We can say whatever we want.
Yeah.
So so Ruben, but ultimately Ruben, at the end of the race, you must feel like shit.
No, I knew it was over. Got nothing to lose, got nothing to win. We got it next season. There's another chance for us, so we'll see about that.
Yeah, and it's a shame that your teammate Jan WOZNICA couldn't turn up. I mean, he couldn't turn up for the race in time. He wouldn't even turn up for the interview. We tried to get him in, but so he quit out at the last second. I mean, you think he was contender for all that season, but he just quits out at the last second. Do you think that you could consider other options other than WOZNICA for the future?
There could be, but we'll see what Jan wants to do. He had a rough time in the past month because family reasons, and we'll see what happens next season.
Okay, thank you very much, Ruben. So next up we have Max Shepard. So what happened, Mac?
Well, basically, as Phil heard, my wheel fell off probably 6-7 times during the entire race. Like the clamps just came off, so that caused the lap one thing. And then basically halfway through the corner, my wheel just completely fell off the table, so that was fun. And then it happened a few times up until the end of the race, which caused spins and me slowing down and stuff. But I think Phil had more pace than me today, so.
Yes, yeah, you spun around four times today. Correct me if I'm wrong. So you just got to think. Do you think that you could, if the clamp wasn't really that messing about, do you think you could have done better today if you had the pace?
I probably could have taken it to Phil a bit, but I didn't really practice that much. So, but he had the pace over me. I'm not that good at Brazil, so.
Yeah. So your title is now lost. Do you think the next year that you can try and reclaim it?
Yeah, it just depends what car we're driving. If it's this one or we change to like a different car, even if Phil's doing it, 'cause I'm not sure if he's doing it or not, so we'll see.
Okay, now we're going to the extended interview with Max, so I'll hand this over to Jeff if you'd like to ask Mac any questions.
Not really. I haven't been paying attention that much after the race finish.
Okay, fair enough. On Jeffrey there. So, thank you very much, Mac. And now to the man of the moment, the new WRL World Champion of 2018, Philip KRAUS. First of all, Philip, congratulations on being champion. You must have been absolutely shagging delighted.
I mean, it was a thing, but I wouldn't call it shagging delighted. That's a bit extreme. We did the thing and the stuff happened. So stuff happened. So going into the race, what was your proper mindset, being that you were only 1 point between both you and Mac? I wasn't really that concerned about it. I had more pace in practice and quality, so all I had to do was not crash. So, I didn't crash. So things happened.
So next season, you're going to be defending. You're going to be defending the championship. Now, after what happened this year, because for the majority of it, you were pretty much an outsider. It was all pretty much between down Mac and Jan. But with you coming into the picture for the last few races of the season and having just won like the majority of the races and just won it at the very end, do you think that you could pull off again next year, or do you think that is going to be entirely different next year?
I mean, I wouldn't say I came out of nowhere. I did win 5 races in a row in the middle of the season. That's not the end of the season. And then Germany and Spa, I just skipped.
So
if I had ran Spa, I would have been fine on points.
Yep. So now, so before we go off, I would just want to say a huge congratulations for you winning the title, and yeah, let's just hope the best for 2019.
Yeah, I'm really delighted to win the 10 FPS Grand Prix here at Interlagos.
Yep. So 10 FPS was that really is that like related to our stream?
Yeah,
that's definitely related to the stream.
Does-
I was stuttering every time I looked at it.
It doesn't work when you connect 3 monitors, and yeah.
Okay, yeah, but okay, this is instantly turning into a roasting session. So yeah, let's just move on. Thank you very much to everyone just tuning into the booth. Thank you very much for everyone tuning at home. We'll be back with you in February. We'll say February 2019.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay. February 2019 for FW 2019, and hopefully everything should be much more better then. So thank you very much to everyone attending into the booth. Thank you very much to Jeffrey on commentary.
No problem.
And thank you very much to everyone watching at home. This has been Ron Squire signing off for 2018. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, see you soon. Ta-ra.